What's up, Coach? Coach Mendez here with Championship Hoops. This is part one of how to implement and build a championship defense. Let's get right into it. Implementing or building a championship defense, by far the number one most important thing is what are your fundamentals? So here are the four fundamentals I feel like you need to work on every single day. The first one is defensive slides. All right, so defensive slides, man, you can work them any way that you want. If you were to type in basketball defensive slides in Google, I'm sure you would find all kinds of drills that you can do. We switched this up, but this is definitely how we start our practice every day. The second fundamental I feel is very important for you and your defense will be closeouts. We do a ton of different closeout drills, and if you want to see some, be sure to check out the rest of the channel. The biggest thing with closeouts, in my opinion, is identifying whether you're closing out on a shooter, a driver, or somebody who is balanced. Identifying these three different levels of closeouts, I think, help you out tremendously.
Always one up, one down.
The third fundamental that I feel is very important for a defense is going to be boxing out and finishing the possession. When your team boxes out on defense, it's going to limit the amount of times the offense has a chance to score. This is a great drill that we do. The biggest thing we're looking for is we are trying to make sure when we see the ball go in the air that players are at least looking at their man and trying to box out. The fourth and last fundamental I feel you need to focus on is guarding and staying in front of the basketball. Look, I can't stress this enough. When your guys can stay in front of the basketball, it's a game changer. It limits rotations. As long as you're constantly having to shoot over somebody throughout a whole game, I think you're going to be very successful defensively. We'll do this for 5 minutes. It'll just be one on one, and the defensive player is trying to get 3 stops in a row. If he gets 3 stops, he gets a point. If not, the next guy who scored on him will get a chance to be on defense. So I attached this practice plan to this video, and the reason why I did is I want you to see this is from the first practice of the year. And right here in the middle you see our defensive warm-up, and we'll cover all four of those defensive fundamentals. And we will actually do this every single day for the rest of the season to the point where it becomes like a dance that my players know, and we're knocking out these drills in like 10 minutes. We'll be done with all four. So you got your fundamentals, you're locked in on those, you're working on them every single day. Doesn't matter if it's 10 to 20 minutes, make sure you focus on those fundamentals every single day. If I missed any, please leave those in the comments. Now, moving on from that, the next step when implementing a great defense is to find out what's important to you. Okay. And what I mean by that is we refer to those as our undebatables. And then when we play in games, we'll chart our undebatables as breakdowns. And our players want to have the least amount of breakdowns as we possibly can. First, and what I feel is the most important undebatable, is you do not want to get beat off the dribble. Anytime a player gets beat off the dribble, it forces the defense to rotate and makes us very vulnerable. The second undebatable we have is that you need to box out and finish. I feel like a team that's really good at boxing out puts a lot of pressure on the offense, and it could just change the momentum of a game. Our third undebatable that we have is our transition defense. Our players must sprint back on defense and get in front of the offense. We feel that if we can just set up our defense and prevent transition points, it puts us in a great position to win a basketball game. Our fourth undebatable is going to be is if you're out of position. All right. It doesn't matter if we're in man or zone. We cannot have players out of position because then we're just going to be giving up great looks at the basket. Our fifth and last undebatable is that we cannot allow a set shot or a dive to the basket. Now that we've kind of identified what these undebatables are, we're going to go ahead and check out some game film and show you what it looks like. So before we look at this game film, I want you to keep a couple things in mind. This is a scrimmage that we had amongst our team, and we start off in a zone defense, which is a 1-2-2. And if you want to learn more about that defense, be sure to check out the channel as we have a full breakdown of how we run this defense. Now, in the second half of the scrimmage, we did run a man-to-man defense, which we do as well. And be sure, I want people to know is that we teach man-to-man defense first. But let's check out these breakdowns from this video. Here is a rotation breakdown where our backside three comes up and lets a pass get behind him. Here's a rotation breakdown where our backside two allows a pass to the middle. Here is a rotation breakdown where our backside three does not rotate over quick enough and they get a pass into the paint. Here's another rotation breakdown where our backside two allows a pass to the middle. Here is a box and finish breakdown where our middle guy does not box out. Here's a breakdown where we allow a dive to the goal and he receives the pass. Another rotation or dive breakdown where we allow the big to dive to the goal for a layup. Another dive and rotation breakdown where the high post gets the ball. Here's a breakdown where the ball defender gets beat off the dribble. Here's a rotation breakdown where we don't help the helper and we don't box out and allow another possession. Another help the helper breakdown rotation. Now, after we identify these on film, we'll print out a sheet that has all of our players' names and they'll get tally marks anytime they have a breakdown within a game situation. This will also help us be able to identify who are our best defensive players. That way we're putting the best defensive players on the floor. I appreciate you for watching, Coach. Anything I left out in the video, please be sure to put it in the comments. Look out for our Facebook group. That's also in there. So, yeah, thanks for watching.